you all, Farmer Jesse here. I want to talk carrots today. I'm going to talk about sort of our no-till strategy with carrots. You can see we've started digging some, and there's actually a few different ways to do it. We've had quite a bit of success. We sold roughly 300 bunches this weekend. So yeah, I'm feeling kind of whooped, but got about 200 bunches out of this bed, and looks like this bed here we've harvested about half, and it'll be about the same. So that's a pretty good average. I mean, 200 bunches at $250 a pop is like $500 per bed. Yeah, I'm good with that for the moment. Anyway, sorry, I'm super tired. Let's do it. All right, before we get into it, we announced an event over at no-tillgrowers.com with Daniel Mays of Frith Farm. Will be here at Rough Draft Farmstead on October 29th. Tickets are available now. We are selling them. So go to no-tillgrowers.com and check that out. If you are a Patreon member, you possibly get a discount. So go check that out at patreon.com/farmerjesse. Let's talk carrots. Okay, so the majority of these were sown in March and February. So late February up here, mid-March. I don't have the exact dates on hand, but that's roughly when I would sow it. I wait for kind of warm periods, sow it, cover it, make sure that they get germinated. These all went into deep compost mulch beds. You can see, I don't always do a good job of showing you the soil, but you can see like there's a pretty good amount of compost, mulchy compost, and some buggies right there. And there's a bunch of different varieties here. These that are actually, some of them are bolting. Those were, like I said, sowed in February. That is those rainbow carrots, the ones you get from high mowing. I forget what they're called. I like them in the spring if you sow them late, but the purple ones in particular for our region tend to bolt. Anyways, okay, so we sowed those early. I cover them and cover them tightly. I've learned that, especially in the deep compost mulch system, that if you don't cover them tightly with your row cover, that row cover will whip around in the wind, and we had crazy wind this year. So it'll whip around in the wind and it'll actually just kill all your seedlings. So you have to make sure your row cover is super tight, and it has to be flat against the ground. And once they germinate, then you want to get it off of them. So then you need to elevate it. For the most part, you'll see there are some weeds in here, but one thing about our system is that all of these will come out before any of these weeds go to seed. And the thing, like, somebody commented the other day on something I posted, and they said, wow, I can't believe you let your weeds get that big. And the reason that we let our weeds get big at all is because they just don't thrive in our system. Our system is pretty fungal, so a lot of weeds are bacterially dominated, and they just don't thrive. So I don't worry that much about it. Like, we have some grass. Some things that I do worry about and will get out is like this curly dock here, or sour dock rather. I'll pull that, and then I'll run a stirrup hoe. You can see there's like a little mat of grass right here. I'll run a stirrup hoe through that. But so here's the thing with carrots. So this was not irrigated. There's no irrigation here. This is all dry farmed. That's great, except when you want to harvest and it dries up real fast in May. So we dried up real bad last week, and I actually did have to use a broad fork here. Whereas now, you know, oh, these are Parisian market carrots, so they pop out easy anyway, but these are the best. See if I can get that to focus. Parisian market carrot's the best tasting carrot. Anyway, they pop out really easy when it's moist, but if it dries out, sometimes it does take a broad fork, and I don't like doing that, but you got to get your carrots out. In fact, we're kind of retiring our broad fork. We feel like we're kind of at the point now with our soil that we don't really have to worry about it broad forking anymore. So thanks, broad fork, for making yourself obsolete. Anyway, Another strategy we have, you can see this was a lettuce bed. Let me see if I can. This right here was a lettuce bed, and I pulled the lettuce and some of the weeds that were in it. I sowed carrots kind of into this. You can see there's a little bit of clover and stuff coming up. So I sowed carrots directly into that, and then I covered it with mulch and irrigated it really well. So I just a light layer of mulch, like not even half an inch, just to cover. And next thing, I'll flame weed it, and I'll pull any little clovers that I have to pull by hand. And then that's it, and I'll show you how successful that is over here. So that's another, if you don't have a ton of compost, like that's another option for doing no-till carrots. And as for variety, like I do a lot of different varieties because I'm never sure what the temperatures and weather are gonna be, and I'm never sure what's gonna thrive. Like there's just no way of knowing. So one thing I'm doing here, which I don't know how it's gonna work, and I may have to prune some of these squash back, which you can do, you can prune the bottom of the squash. It's just a ridiculous thing to do. But I sowed carrots in that same way underneath the squash right here, and you can see, you know, sowed them, and then I covered it with mulch very lightly and gave it one good round of irrigation, and then now those are all coming up. But of course, this will probably be in for about 3 weeks right here, and then that'll come out. So I'm hoping that it won't make our carrots too leggy. We'll see how that goes. It's a little bit of an experiment, but moisture is really your key. You gotta keep them moist for 9 days. In the summer, they germinate in about 7. So depending on the carrot. And I often like Bolero in the summertime. That's a good carrot for us. That's one that we're sowing right now. Or there's a Bolero type, what is that called, from High Mowing? I'll put it on the screen. I can't remember. I love Atlas Market carrot. This thing right here. Flavor-wise, there's just no comparison. It's the best. I will sow carrots every week. I'd like to sow 2 beds, and I think I will only be able to do 1. 2 beds every week if I could. Reason for that is that we can sell, especially in the middle of the summertime. I mean, it's May, and last week we sold 300 bunches of carrots at market, and I think we could have sold 400. So that was just me kind of being conservative, but also I ran out of daylight. So yeah, I mean, we can sell a lot of carrots, especially in the summertime. So summer carrots are a big part of what we do. And so some of this, like lettuce, is dying here, and we'll start pulling that and sowing carrots there. We'll sow carrots in this bed. Where did it go? This one here that was a lettuce and kale bed. So all that kale came out, the winter boar, all that lettuce is coming out now. We'll sow that pretty quickly to carrot. And yeah, I think that's it for now. Let me know if you have any questions, and check out that Frith Farm event. It's gonna be rad. He's gonna be here, and we're gonna be talking about no-till farming all day long. It's gonna be an awesome intensive. So check that out. Like the video if you like the video. Make sure to subscribe to this channel if you're not subscribed. All those good things. We'll see you next week. Bye, guys.